Welcome back to My Shelling Addiction. Today we'll be going on a journey to Sanibel Island Lighthouse Beach. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get started. We got there at the perfect time this day because the sun was just starting to rise and there was no need for lights. My first find of the day was a conch shell, as you can see. My next find was a banded tulip. It was super pretty, but it was a little broken up. I ended up putting it back later on. This is a Florida fighting conch. They are so pretty. I love them. This one stood out to me because of the colors and it was whole. It is also a Florida fighting conch. This next one I found, I think is just a conch. It is super pretty, bright, and I love the colors. So it looks like I have a Florida fighting conch and some other conchs. I found these all in the same area. This is an older version of a lightning whelk. Along with it, I found a smaller lightning whelk. This one is one of my favorite shells. It is a shark eye. This one is a little older, but still one of my favorites. This next shell is a small lightning whelk. I never really found lightning whelks previous to the ones I showed you before, so I was super excited when I found this one. So I found a big conch, and then I also found a smaller conch along with it. While I was showing you guys these, I also saw something else on the ground. It was upside down. It ended up being one of my favorite shells, like I said earlier. It is a shark eye. So this looks like it is a murex shell along with a conch. So I've never heard of these or even seen any. I was talking to this person and they said their best friend of the day so far was an albino Florida fighting conch. Like I said, I never have heard of one of these before, but now it is on my list of what I would like to find. So I was so excited when I found this. I thought I found my first Junonia, and I didn't even care that I was old and beat up and went through so much. I was just so excited. I ended up bringing the cone over to my dad, grinning from ear to ear, saying I found the best find of the day. And I told him I thought it was a Junonia. I showed it to him, and he was like, Sam, it's just an alphabet cone. Sometimes the best shells you can find are walking along the shore. You just have to have that special eye. This is one of my also favorite shells, especially in the size that it is in. It is a lettered olive, and finding them in this size, I usually never do, but this time I did. We also have a small conch along with it. This was the biggest win of the day. It is a baby shark eye, and like I said earlier, shark eyes are one of my favorite things. My dad and I always joke around when I find a small one of any shell. I always say it's the one of the day. That's why I said that. This next one, I think, is a murex. It's not a full one, it's a partial one. I couldn't tell exactly what it was when I found it. I was kind of confused, but now looking back at it, I definitely think it's a murex. These ones were little baby shells, and they look like they are conchs and maybe a possible cone. I can't exactly tell because I can't see if there are points on one of them. These ones are small conchs. This small one is an auger shell, and this next one is also a pretty cool shell. It is a worm shell. I've never heard of these before, and they look like noodles to me. This is a small horse conch. Very pretty. This is a conch shell along with a small part of a worm shell. This shell is a cone. Conchs are so addicting to pick up. They come in so many different colors and designs that it's so hard to not keep wanting more. This is a Florida cone. It is super pretty, and they're also one of my favorite ones to find. This is a small lightning wall. This is a banded tulip. This one has been through so much and is broken, otherwise I would have kept it and cleaned it up. When you find them whole and they have so much color in them, they're so pretty. This is an olive shell. It was a little broken, but still really cool. So we started digging to find shells. This is a Florida cone we found. But when you're digging, you want to get digging tools, otherwise you cut up your fingers a lot and it hurts and it is not fun. You can also use cockle shells, but cockle shells don't always work the best. But I still suggest getting like a small shovel or like a little rake to help you, because the shells, like pen shells that you see or like find when you're digging, they're really sharp and can be really pokey. Definitely not the best thing that you want to be grabbing when you can't see. So this is a paper fig we found. This one is really small. They're really fragile. Usually you find them small, but you can find them big. But when they're usually big, they're usually broken up. But you never know. Sometimes you can find big ones. And as you're scooping, you want to look out where you're scooping the stuff out, because you might have missed something really cool that you want to keep. This is a conch. So when you're digging, you're going to dig past all this dead plant stuff and it's going to smell disgusting. But you just want to keep digging, because you know there's going to be shells under that stuff that gets trapped in there and things you may not expect to find when you're digging. This is a pen shell with also a paper fig like stuck in between it. I don't exactly know how that happened, but it's a really cool find. Now this is a bigger paper fig. This one was completely whole, not broken. It was perfect. So when we were digging in this hole, we first started because we saw that there were conchs in it. So as you can see, that's one we found. And then we also found a shark eye, which I love them. They're so cool. They come in so many different varieties. And then we also found a small horse conch. So when you're digging, you might find a lot of cockle shells like together. Just don't, I wouldn't say grab them, because they are all over the place and you can find them anywhere. I found a lot of conchs in our hole. As you can see, we keep pulling them out. Some of them are old and stuff, but that's how you know you're in the right spot. And you want to keep digging where you're finding those ones. So like if you're digging to the right and you find a conch, keep digging towards the right. This is a small lightning whelk, I think, and I love the color because it's not like a traditional one, and it's always super cool what you can find. You never know, like each time you dig you could find something completely different, or you might just find a lot of small shells, which is not a bad thing, because then you can use them for like your little jars if you display them in your house or anything like that. I currently have so many little shells that I love just from digging and finding them, or seeing them on shore. I grab them. You can never ever go wrong with grabbing small shells. And we found another shark eye, which I'm not complaining. We call holes that have never-ending shells that have like a ton of conchs in them honey holes, because as you keep digging, you keep finding them. Even if they're old and disgusting, you just keep finding them and you're like, wow, where are all these coming from? We found a horse conch, and I've never seen one this color before and empty, so I was so happy when my dad found it. I feel like each shell you find has a unique thing about them that makes them so different from the others, even if they are very, very similar to others. We found a small conch here and a banded tulip. I love the colors of the banded tulip. It is so pretty. I hope you enjoyed coming on this adventure with us today. I had so much fun. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. See you next time.